Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your Week 16 waiver wire video. Now this is a little unique because normally these videos I try to do as early as I can on Monday to get you prepared for the next week. Now with obviously 2 games on Monday, 2 games on Tuesday, it's kind of changed some things. Now there's still a game on Thursday, Saturday for Christmas, and then of course Sunday, and then Monday. So it's a very interesting week. It's a different type of week than we normally do, but I wanted to get this video out for you guys because there was a lot of opportunity to probably pick up some players that will help you out with week 16, whether it be matchup, injuries, obviously COVID. There's a lot going on, so I want to make sure you guys got a video for this week. And again, there's gonna be a lot of players I'm going to talk about to probably help you out. Now, hopefully you guys did get a victory. Obviously, there's 2 more games going on, so hopefully you're up enough where you're not worried about a Tuesday night miracle. But again, make sure you check out this video because again, it's going to help you out with everything. Now, what I want to talk about first is going to be the quarterback position. Now, the first quarterback I have, and this is based off the fact that if Lamar Jackson is still hurt, Tyler Huntley looks amazing. He has done a phenomenal job filling in for Lamar Jackson, and I believe, again, with this matchup of the Bengals, I think that will continue. So if you're someone who is dealing with a quarterback who struggled, like a Tom Brady, who's got a lot of injuries for the Bucs, Dak Prescott, I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that have struggled and not performed well. Maybe Huntley might be somebody you want to go after. He's available in 96% of most leagues, which makes sense, right? But again, this is only if Lamar Jackson does not play. So if you're able to kind of put him on your bench, if you have the space and kind of wait and see, then he's somebody I would definitely consider. Again, Bengals, this is a matchup I think he'll still do really well in. Another guy I have as a possible pickup, and again, this also helps if you guys are in super flex leagues, is Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's going against the Lions this week. Obviously, that's a matchup that can go either really well in his favor or it can struggle a little bit, but I do like him this week. He's available in 59% of most leagues, and again, I just think this is a good matchup for him against Detroit. Another quarterback I think is going to be a good pickup, again, whether it be super flex or maybe you need to stream somebody, is going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. Look, Jimmy G, he's got the Titans this week. Titans have struggled defensively, and I love the weapons that obviously, he's got. He's got Debo, he's got Ayuk, he's got Kittle, Jeff Wilson. Hopefully Eli Mitchell's back. I mean, there's a lot of weapons for the 49ers, and they're starting to play really well, so I like Jimmy G as a good possible pickup. He's available also in 59% of most leagues, so again, he's somebody, especially if super flex, and maybe if you need to kind of fill in because your quarterback's underperforming. Because again, this is crucial. You gotta put the right players in to help you get that victory for this week. Now, as far as running backs go, there's a lot of running backs I want to talk about. Now, the first running back I'm going to talk about is Duke Johnson. Out of nowhere, Duke Johnson came in for the Miami Dolphins and put up over 100 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Myles Gaskin was gone, and it sucks because he was somebody that I believed was going to have a good game, and I think had they used Myles Gaskin, he probably would have very similar performance that Duke Johnson did. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, Gaskin was put to the side. Duke Johnson had a really amazing game, and he's available, of course, 98% of most leagues. They're going against the Saints. That's the only concern I have with Duke Johnson. Now, you may want to still pick him up, but the Saints have a really good run defense, all right? And that's one thing they do a really good job at. Again, obviously, we'll talk about start sit videos later this week, but I'm not crazy about that start, but Duke Johnson's definitely a running back I'd go after. Another guy I would go after is going to be Ronald Jones. Obviously, you heard the news with Leonard Fournette. He's going to be at least a week or 2 out with his injury. So Ronald Jones automatically becomes the guy, and Bruce Arians said this is his time to kind of show up and shine. This is a contract year 2, so he does this is like a really big, important game for Ronald Jones. Going against the Panthers, who defensively are a pretty strong defense. Ronald Jones is available 66% of most leagues, so he's definitely a running back I would absolutely go after if you can. Another running back who isn't as available, but he has seen a huge spike in snap shares. He's getting more yards his way. He's getting more running routes as far as a running back goes, so if PPR this helps, is Devin Singletary. I was able to pick him up in one of my leagues. He's going against the Patriots. Again, Patriots are a really good defensive team. I'm not crazy about the rest of the playoffs for Devin Singletary, but maybe you need a flex, depending on the injuries or COVID that's going on. But he's available in 27% of most leagues, and he's seen a huge increase in touches, whether it be behind the line, running routes, whatever it might be. They've pretty much put Zach Moss to the side. I think last week, carries, Breda had 7. That was about it. So Breda's not even getting a lot out of it. it's really been Singletary, and he's really the guy that this really for the Buffalo Bills, and I think that's a good thing for Buffalo. Last running back I want to mention, this is again a little bit of an asterisk, is Justin Jackson for the Chargers. Look, they're going against the Texans, which is a really good matchup. On top of that, Eckler's in COVID right now. He is possibly eligible to play, but he has been dealing with an injury. With the injury, Justin Jackson actually ended up having about 86 yards this past weekend, so he can do some of the work. And again, going on, we're going to look at his injury for Eckler and, again, what's going on with COVID. So Justin Jackson is definitely somebody I would go after as well. He's available in 94% of most leagues, so he's definitely available. Now, as far as wide receivers go, Gabriel Davis is somebody I'm interested in. Look, Gabriel Davis has done a phenomenal job. He had a great game this weekend, and that all has to do with the fact that Sanders has gotten hurt. He was hurt the game before. He didn't get to play this week. If Sanders is out, he's definitely somebody I would consider just because he was getting red zone action. Gabriel Davis is going to be the number 2 guy because obviously Beasley still plays the slot. But I like, him in the red zone has been, I think, the best part about this whole thing because Josh Allen is absolutely looking after him and not actually even after Stephon Diggs, which is kind of surprising. But I like Gabriel Davis. He's available in 81% of most leagues. But again, they are going against the Patriots. They've got some great corners. Obviously, J.C. Jackson will be on Diggs, but I do think Gabriel Davis is something you might want to consider. Another wide receiver I would definitely consider is Marquez Valdez-Scantling. MVS is back. He's looking healthy. He had a great game this weekend. And if anything else, Green Bay is looking to secure that number 1 seed for the playoffs. So they're not holding back. It's not like they're going to be resting because they are doing really well. They've already going to clinch the playoff. But number 1 seed is a big one. They're going against the Browns, who have been riddled with COVID, riddled with injuries. So defensively, this is a tough matchup for Cleveland against the Green Bay Packers, and I like Marquez here. He's available in 59% of most leagues, so I would definitely consider him as well. Another wide receiver, which I mentioned before, is AMON-RA St. Brown. He was somebody I mentioned before in the last waiver video. I'm still going to mention him again because he's available in 70% of most leagues. Going against the Falcons, which is a really good matchup. He's seen 12 targets in each of the last 3 games. On top of that, he's getting over 8 receptions in the last 3 games. He has looked phenomenal this last 3 or 4 games. The Lions looked really good. They look really hungry. Now, the only issue is Jared Goff just got put into COVID reserve. So right now, depending on his vaccination status, and obviously if he can test negative within 24-hour status or whatever their protocols are right now, and a lot of that's changing for the NFL with the whole breakout with COVID. But with that said, if Jared Goff does come back, St. Brown's a great option, and again, might be one of those guys I might talk about in my start sits. So I like him. Again, he's available in 70% of most leagues, but again, stay tuned with the whole Jared Goff situation. Now, the last wide receiver I want to mention is Russell Gage. Again, based off matchup, the Lions, it's one of those matchups that can be really, really good. Russell Gage has actually looked really good the past few weeks. He's seen 7 targets in each of the last 3 games. He's getting about 7 receptions or so, and he's scoring some touchdowns. So he looks really good. He's starting to finally show up as the wide receiver 1. And again, this is just a really good matchup. He's available in 50% of most leagues, so he's somebody you might want to consider as a flex option, maybe a low wide receiver 2, depending on what you've got on your roster. Now, as far as tight ends go, first guy I want to mention is going to be Noah Gray. And you're probably asking, who is that? But he is with the Kansas City Chiefs. And the reason I mention him is the fact that Travis Kelce is also in the COVID reserve list. So there's a possibility that he may miss this week's game. If he does not miss, then obviously Noah Gray means nothing to you, and he'll still stay out there in the waivers. But if Kelce is not able to come back, he might be somebody you want to consider. Gray's available in obviously 100% of most leagues because no one ever considered owning him. But with that said, he's going to get some of the targets. He's not Kelce, let's be honest. But he's going to get some of the targets, some of the red zone action. And I think with that offense, you never know with Patrick Mahomes how things are going to play out. But if you're desperately needing a tight end, Noah Gray is possibly somebody you want to go after. Last tight end I want to mention, just because I was kind of surprised his availability. He's available in 35% of most leagues, which is Hunter Henry. I'm kind of shocked by that. Maybe just because of his inconsistency sometimes, but he is a better option than most tight ends. He had 2 touchdowns this past weekend. They are going against the Bills again. Bills defensively are a pretty good team, but I like what I've seen with him. He's seeing red zone targets again. He's seeing, I think, 8 targets last game, which is phenomenal. But I like Hunter Henry as an option that you might need to consider as far as tight end because they're so thin. Obviously with issues of injuries, you know, like Waller's still been out, but I like Hunter Henry. He's a good option here. Now, as far as defensive special teams go, first team I want to talk about as a defensive special teams is going to be the Eagles. They're going against the Giants, so that enough is alone a great option. They're available in 51% of most leagues. And again, Mike Glennon's going to be the quarterback. Maybe Fromm, who knows? Glennon has not looked great. That offense is struggling, so I like the defense for the Eagles for this possible week and maybe the rest of the playoffs. Another team I like is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. The defense looks really good. They've played phenomenally. They're going against the Steelers, who just looked horrendous offensively, and they continue to see looking horrendously. And that offensive line is struggling, which that's actually one thing Kansas City has done a great job is getting pressure to the quarterback and, of course, stopping the run. So they're available in 40% of most leagues, so they're definitely a team I would definitely consider. Last defensive special teams I want to talk about is going to be the Seahawks, just because the matchup going against the Bears, who, if you watch the Monday night game, just struggled. They look horrible. I don't know what's going on with Justin Fields, but I don't think he's quite necessarily the answer for Chicago. But the Bears matchup is a good matchup for the Seattle Seahawks. Again, they're available in 65% of most leagues, so there's somebody I would definitely consider. So this is my Week 16 waiver wire video. Hopefully the information I've given you has been informative. It's helpful. Maybe some of these guys you should be picking up. If you guys do have questions who you should pick up and drop, always feel free to hit us up in the comments down below. Or, of course, you can always hit us up on our DMs on Instagram and Twitter. We'll be there. The links are in the description down below. So, of course, feel free to ask us there as well. If you guys did find it informative, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell is on. That way you guys are notified every time we drop a video just like this. Or, of course, our start and sit videos for this upcoming week. Again, it is playoff time, so we want to make sure you guys are ready for that. If you guys did enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like button. It's greatly appreciated. You guys are awesome. Make sure you stay tuned for our start and sit videos for the rest of the week, and I'll catch you guys next time.